Oops. Try that. It's always good to moisturize. Mat my hair down a little bit. I know, it's been this fucking thing. It's gonna be the death of me. Gonna choke it. Oh, fuck me. I know. I look scrumptious. Whatever. Stupid. Stupid. All right, let's try something here.
Are you just trying to navigate adulthood in a world that still expects you to have it all figured out? Welcome to This Is 50 with your host, Travis Holmes.
Well, I got bad news for you. Welcome to the show, by the way. This is 50. We broadcast every Friday afternoon, about 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We sit on about 22 some odd acres here. And we have a horse farm. And the bad news that I have is that this Monday will mark my 52nd lap around the sun. Isn't it weird people say that? Oh, it's a lap around the sun. It's a birthday. Yeah, I'll be 52 this Monday coming up, January 6th. I know. Everyone rushed the Capitol on my birthday. So it's kind of like, you know, for the longest time, nobody cared. It was like little Christmas type deal. And people, you know, unless you're the Latin community, what the fuck is little Christmas? Epiphany. Little Christmas, the day that the three wise men showed up to baby Jeebus and gave him frankincense, myrrh, and Bitcoin or something. I forget what it was, but something like that. And I always thought my day was a special day. January 6th, it's Epiphany. I'm in school. I'm in church. Epiphany, you know, all this stuff. No, nobody fucking knows about that holiday. Nobody knows that. It's like Boxing Day. Boxing Day is just currently making its way or eking its way down from Canada down to here to the United States. But yeah, January 6th, and then that whole thing with Trump and everything, and I was like going, finally, I get recognition on a day that I was born. When were you born? Epiphany. Huh? When is that? Or if I go, when were you born? The resurrection or the storm on the White House? Yeah, that's the day I was born. That day? No, not that day, dummy. I'd be 4 years old or something like that. That happened on my birthday. Oh. So I want everyone out there, every time they hear about the storming of the Capitol, I want you to think Travis Holmes' birthday is today. He's celebrating right now. And this weekend we're going to do I don't get into my birthday too much. And the reason being, I might have talked about this many shows ago. You know, we're coming up on 3 years here in the next couple of months of doing this show. For my mom, it was my birthday was the last thing on the rotation of things to do. Even though it was the beginning of the year. It starts in May with birthdays of aunts and uncles and cousins and, you know, Father's Day and Mother's Day and Easter and all that stuff. It starts in that time. That April, May time is when the Holmes family holiday season starts. Nothing happened in January. Nothing happened in February. Nothing really happening in March. April, you got Easter and you got, you know, all the other stuff and like I said, birthdays, Father's Days, happy birthdays, uncles, cousins, all that stuff, all the way till December. And my mom has to make dinner for everyone. You know, every time we have a get together or a birthday party, my mom makes dinner. She, you know, plans it all out. And then, you know, the home stretch is, you know, she makes Thanksgiving dinner for, you know, 10, 15 people. Then we have to do Christmas, and Christmas Eve is at one side of the family's house, my dad's side of the family, and then Christmas Day is my mom's side of the family, and she cooks and they cook, and then it's presents and stuff. And then you got New Year's, and then everyone, you know, wants to come and party and stuff. And then my birthday, as a kid growing up, my birthday literally was the end of the season for celebration. And my mom was always sick because she wore herself out from April all the way to December, you know, cooking and doing all that stuff. So for the longest time, I could see it taking a toll on myself when I got to an age where I was like, you know, hey, Mom, what do you, Trav, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want to eat? What do you want for dinner? It's kind of like, oh, just one more. I got to deal with this shit. Makes you feel real loved. Nobody loves me. And I got to a point where I'm like, when I was at like 14, 15 years old, I'm like, Mom, I don't need anything. I was doing the, not grieving for her, but just like, Mom, you don't need to do anything. You've done so much. I just, a cake. Make me a cake. That's all I want. Well, what kind of cake do you want? I don't know. The simplest cake that you can possibly make. Well, I can make a devil fruits cake with homemade frosting. Mom, it doesn't need to be homemade frosting. Nothing. It doesn't need to be homemade. Everything was homemade with her, which was great. A lot of families can't do that. A lot of parents, a lot of, moms and dads can't make homemade dinners. There's a sector of society that doesn't do that anymore. My mom would make devil's food cake from fucking scratch. She'd sift the flour. She'd do the cocoa, the Hershey's tin can with cocoa powder in it. If you're watching this here on the YouTube video, I'm literally like blocking my face here. Sorry. And she would do that and make homemade cream cheese frosting. I like that cream cheese frosting or buttercream frosting. She would make that whipped frosting. Fuck that shit. Like when you get it from the grocery store, or wherever you get cakes made and they got that whipped cream frosting. Ugh, garbage. Fuck that shit. I want sweet. I don't want fucking whipped cream. I just don't like whipped cream. So anyways. And it got to the point where it's like, what do you want to do for your birthday? And it got to the point, nothing, Mom, nothing. And the older I got, the more it was like, just give me a card. Just, slip a $50 bill in there. I'm fine. And so my birthday, I was the first one to step away from that whole, the cycle of the season. And that was it. And I told my wife when we first started dating, well, what do you want to do for your birthday? She's a new girlfriend. She wants to do, I'm like, I haven't done birthdays for a long time. I've done them with friends, go out to the bars and drink until you're shit-faced and then carry your ass home. But we do that any night. So it wasn't really like a special thing. No one really went out of their way. I know, boo-hoo-hoo, me, no. But I'm just giving you a little background on what's been going on. Not what's been going on. I do this thing for therapy. I do this show for therapy. If you guys can get any enjoyment out of it or any kind of, insight on anything, maybe if I can help one person, type deal. So my wife always made it a fact to say, her family always celebrated, no matter whose birthday it was, did a big old party. And so she's like, we're going to either do a big party or we're going somewhere. So we've been doing that since we've been dating and stuff. And now my wife, this year, is feeling the same thing that my mom went through. And not to the extent where she's celebrating birthdays and stuff and cooking dinners like every other weekend for birthday parties and stuff like that. But my wife, who's a busy person, and I love her to death, we just came out of Thanksgiving. Now, this is the first Thanksgiving that we've had here in the house with my dad and her family at the same time. So we've got a table full of, 9, 10 people. And my wife is trying to make, everything. The only thing she did not make was the macaroni and cheese. My wife made everything from stuffing to the turkey to the green bean casserole to everything. She made it all. Mashed potatoes, she did it all. And then when it was all done, she's like, whew, now we got to do Christmas. And for Christmas, it's just, my wife and I and my dad. And my wife wants to make a big, thing. That's why I said last week, I'm like, no more cooking on Christmas Day. Christmas Eve, don't mind. Christmas Day, she was done. And so we sat in the kitchen the other day, and she's like, what do you want to do for your birthday? I'm like, we don't have to do anything, babe. And she's kind of like, all right, but I have to make you something. I have to do so. I said, no, we'll, I was looking online, and we live out in the middle of nowhere. I broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a little town called Marshville. We are out in the middle of nowhere, and it is growing up around here. They are building houses around here, and the reason why I bring this up is because I said, I'm sitting here in the studio and I'm editing or whatever, and I look at my phone. I go, well, I got to make it easy for my wife. I wonder if Uber's running out here yet. So I look and I just kind of put in our address and then a fake location of where I want to go, whatever, like biker bar or something. And it says, oh yeah, there's Uber comes out here. I'm like, oh, this would be so great. She doesn't have to do anything. So then I go in the the main house there. And she's like, what do you want to do? I said, Saturday, this is Thursday. I'm telling her this. I said, Saturday, let's wrap up everything early. At 4 o'clock, we'll get dressed. We'll go out and have drinks and have a nice dinner and be home by 8. Us 52-year-olds. Now, my wife is going to turn 44 this year. Actually, 45 this year. This year. And I said, and then Sunday, when you go for your lesson, you know what you drive by on the way home? You drive by a Papa John's. So I want a Papa John pizza for the day before my birthday. Well, what do you want on your birthday day? Nothing, babe. That's all I want. She's like, okay, well, good, because I'm tired. I'm beat. My back hurts, and I'll get into that story here in a minute. She's like, okay, we'll do that for your birthday weekend. And then next weekend, I'll make you something. I said, fine. That's all you have to do. We don't have to do anything special. We're planning one big trip this year. We're planning on going to Nashville for a week and then maybe some things around there. So that's our one big trip for the year. But yeah, so she's realizing how, in a smaller scale, what my mom went through. And the reason why I really don't get all uppity jumpity about my birthday, because I know the cycle. It wears a lot of people, and even people like that are born on like around December. Now you get gypped on gifts and stuff like that. No, my birthday's just far enough away from Christmas, where I do get gifts. Like I get a decent amount of gifts, like as a kid growing up. So there you go. So yeah, this Monday I turn 52. When we come back, the generator's in the ground. Well, on the property, and I'll dive into the update on that. So stick around. You said, I forgot what show I was doing. Stick around. I'll be right back. Being that my birthday falls on January 6th, I am a Capricorn. And I in my dating years, I'm always been a believer in you are your sign. As far as like Taurus, Cancer, Scorpio, all the the astrological signs and stuff. I do believe that has a little bit more leading into outside of your normal character and stuff. Capricorns are known to be like stubborn and narrow-minded, but are, reasonable to a certain point. And, Pisces are more likely to be addicted to drugs and stuff, and Geminis are this, and Leos, and, whatever that is. So Capricorn, for all you Capricorn people out there, thumbs up, I guess. But the reason why I tell you that, about the Capricorn thing is I bought some new lighting for the studio. Just kind of mix it up a little bit. I need a couple more colored washes here and colored washes there to kind of just change it up. And if you're watching us on the YouTube channel, just kind of break it up, because there are 4 different podcasts that come out of the studio. So I don't want them all to look the same. So I want to do like one show has a big green wall and, different colors and stuff and yada, yada, yada. So I bought some lights, some RGB lights online. And I was like, a 2-pack RGB lights for like $50. I'm like going, yeah, that'll be good. So I bought them, brought them home. Garbage. They barely shed any light on the wall there. I've got a new professional light right here off to my right that lights up this side of my face because I was losing a little bit here in the studio, so that works out very well. And I've got another light, same light over there for when we have guests in the studio, when I do the other shows behind me. If you're watching this on the video, all those other shows back there get broadcast out of the studio. All right, enough about me. So I literally opened the box when it came from Amazon of the new RGB lights, and I open them up and I plug one in before I even set up the tripod or anything like that. I plugged it in because I wanted to see what it looked like. First of all, I was like, oh, there's no remote. I got to physically, it's on the wire. All right. So 2-pack for $50. What am I supposed to do? And I'm clicking on it, and it's literally like I'm holding it around and moving it and trying to figure out, like, these are fucking garbage. Turned all the lights out in the studio, and I put it on the wall, and it barely did anything on the wall. I go, and then I had to cycle the modes. Like if you wanted red, you had to go through all the different colors to get to red. You had to go mode. You can't just, go to red, go to yellow, go to green. I said, fuck this. Literally it was out of the box for 30 minutes, put it right back in the box, and did my return. Now, here where we live at, there's a CVS up the road, about 10 miles up the road, where you can drop stuff off. But they're real particular. It's got to be in a box. It's got to have a label on it. And it's just a drop-off area. But there is a UPS store in town. And when I say in town, it's 20 miles down the road where I can drop this thing off. And I don't have to do anything. They scan the barcode, the QR code on my phone. If you're watching me here on the video, the QR code on my phone, and they go and it prints it out and they slap it on it and they say, "Thank you, sir. Have a good day." So it is Friday. You know, every Friday I do my grocery shopping, my food shopping. And so I figured on the way back I was going to stop by this UPS store. UPS store has tinted windows, so you can't see inside the store. And there's a reason why you don't want to look inside the store. Because today, being January 3rd, I pull into the parking lot, and it's in a strip mall, like a small strip mall. Like it has, maybe 20 parking spots, and every single one of them were taken up. I'm like, they're going to the bank, or they're doing something else, getting their hair done or something. Every fucking car was in this UPS store. And I opened the door. And I was ready to smack. So I was literally... Now, because of the medication I'm on now, I don't get as upset anymore. Like, I don't have anxiety. I don't get I don't get frustrated. I don't get flustered. But my thoughts are a little bit more clearer when I'm dealing with a situation that I'm working out in my head, but yet someone interferes with me. And I'm like, it's one of those, hold on a minute. Give me a second and I'll figure this out. So I open the door. They've got one register open at the front. It's a long square box building or store. They got one register open at the counter. Counter, register. They normally have two. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So the line comes all the way back to the glass windows where the door is, where you come in the store, and then bends around and then literally goes back almost as long to touch the counter again. That's how many people. There must have been 16 people in it. Register all the way back to the glass window, loops back around in front of the door that I came in, and then goes back to the register because you can't go. You're in the building. You're stuck in this big, fish hook line. And I open it up and I kind of look and I just immediately, I was like going, all right, so there's 15 people in there. They all got one. It looks like they're just returning and dropping off. It's not anything like they're going to take over a third world country type transaction. And as soon as I opened the door and I kind of look over everybody and I stood there for a minute. Do you know what a Dike Grandma is? Grandma Dike, Diesel Dike Grandma. If you don't know, it is a short, like 5'5", overweight, white grandmother who, was probably, had kids and, well, she's a grandmother. She's married and had kids. And now she's turned into a lesbian. And the reason why I say that is because she's got that really, really short gray hair and that spiky gray hair on top. Okay? And she's got one of those, like, shawl type throw over her shoulders because it's cold here in North Carolina. It's 45 today. And she looks at me and goes, line starts way back there. Line. And I'm just standing there, just kind of assessing the situation. I've got my box in my hand and my lights, and they're small. It's like a mailbox type size. And I'm standing there and I'm looking, just kind of assessing, am I going to stay here or am I going to go? And she's like, the line starts back there. You can't just stand there. And I'm like going, I literally went, hold on a minute. As I'm doing that, someone else is coming in the building, and so I'm standing blocking the door. So as the gentleman that I am, I open the door, and this old lady comes in, and she's got a P.O. box there, and she opens up her P.O. box right there on the side, and then she walks right back out. And I go, you know what? I don't need this from you, Diesel Dike Grandmother. I don't need to stand in line with you and your attitude. You've ruined it. So as the grandmother goes out with the P.O. box, her stuff, I go right out behind her. And she goes, see you later. See you later. Like, You don't know what's going on in my head. Don't insert yourself into my situation. Let me figure it out. If I do something wrong, then yes. Hey, you know what? The line doesn't start here. It actually starts in the back. Just be a normal fucking human. Instead of as soon as I walk in the door, line starts back there. Line starts back there. Fuck you. Fuck you, you fucking diesel dyke. So the generator's here. Oh yeah. Yeah, that was they put the generator in. And I say put the generator in. There's a concrete slab, 3 foot by 5 foot, pre-made. They cleared out the ground and everything. We had a big discussion about that. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to bore you too much. I've already bored you enough already. They dropped the slab down, level it out, put the generator on top of that, and they said, okay, you're good to go. Call your propane people. Propane people come out, trench it out, because of it runs off propane, and we got a tank there probably about 30 feet from the generator. That's why it's on that side of the house. And they hook up all the gas and everything, and now we're waiting for the electrical guy. And he'll be coming out on the 23rd, and I'll keep you updated on how that goes. So, told my wife, hey, the gas is hooked up to the propane, or to the generator. She's like, okay, great. Today, Friday, as you guys know, I go for my 4-mile walk every morning. I'm doing good, meeting the families that live on that street. I get a text about 9 o'clock. I'm wrapping up my, I got about a mile and a half to go on my walk. Just to let you know, the power went out. I said, fucking for real? And it's a beautiful, clear day. It's 45 degrees outside. Well, it's 38 when I was out there walking. There's a slight little breeze. It's bright and sunny. It's not raining. It's not, there's no wind blowing for trees to fall on lines or, cars to crash into poles, because that happens all the time out here in the fucking country. I said, for real? She's like, yeah. I said, well, all right. I said, I'll be home in a little bit and I'll fire up the portable generator that we have. She's like, no, I'll do it, and I'll run the power cords into the house and I'll get all that set up. So I get back home about 35 minutes later, and the little portable generator's running outside because the main one, the whole house generator's not hooked up yet. And she's got the power cords running to her office to, power her desktop and everything, and then she's got a cord running to the Wi-Fi, the router, so she can have Wi-Fi and stuff, and then one going to the refrigerator in the house. The refrigerator's outside. We're not in and out of them, so we don't worry about that. It's 45 outside. So I'm standing there, and the power is still out, and she said it's not going to come back on until 12:30. You know how you get the messages. So we're sitting there, we're talking about, our meal plans for the week and what I'm going to, making my list because I'm going grocery shopping. It's Friday. And I said, okay, babe, well, I'm getting ready to go. See you later. All of a sudden, power comes on. Doop. It was out for an hour and 10 minutes. I said, okay, do you want me to disconnect everything? She's like, no, I'll wait for a minute because I might go back out. I said, okay, well, I'm going to change and get dressed and everything. So 15 minutes go by. I said, okay, babe, I'm gonna get ready to leave. She's like, okay, drive safe and all that stuff. As soon as I get out of her office, dude, power goes out again. She's like, motherfucker, oh, fucking come on. I said, okay, see you later, babe. Now we've disconnected, wrapped up everything. It took us, 15 minutes while I was getting dressed and stuff. Wrapped up everything, stuck everything away back in the little bin and stuff. And so the power goes off again. I said, well, what do you want to do? She's like, I'll just sit it out and wait. And as I'm, writing my list down, it went off for like 10 minutes and then came back right back on. And she said, you know what? The power, since you guys even thought about putting a generator outside, she's like, I know you said in the beginning, we only lose power maybe 3 times a year. Since your dad's been here and talked about putting that generator in our house, we have lost power 7 times. I go, I know. And the only thing we can chalk it up for is because they are building a lot more houses and stuff around here. Not on top of us, but, a mile or 2 down the road. Because it's mostly cattle or cornfields in between the properties here. They're building like small little neighborhoods of like 30 houses and stuff. she says they're probably cutting into the power lines or throwing breakers and doing all this crazy stuff. I said, it's just happenstance that this happens. She's like, I'll be so glad when the whole house generator is up and running. I said, you know what? I'm starting to like that now. So yeah, that's three times in one day, 2 times in one day, and then 7 times since my dad's thought about having this generator put in. When we come back, I don't know if it's you or is it just me? No, it's me. I have a weird thing that I can't do when I go into a store, and I'll talk about that when we come back. So stick around. I'll be right back. My wife, we have horses here on the property. And it's that time of year. We have seeded the pastures and stuff. If you don't know about horses, I'll give you just a small little breakdown of horses. Horses constantly have to eat and drink unless they're sleeping. You ever heard the term colic? The term colic means their intestines gets all twisted up, like one of those balloon animals. If they don't eat, if they constantly do not have stuff moving through their system. So you try to make them eat grass, they'll eat grass on their own. But if you don't have enough grass because of the weather or the God damn it, because it's rain and it's mud, the pastures are mud now, there's no grass, there's no foliage, there's no nothing. So we have to supplement their food intake, their basic food intake with hay. And you think, okay, hay's just dead grass. No, there's different types of hay. There's fescue, there's timothy, there's orchid. There's all these different kind of things. And that's part of being a horse owner. So now that we don't have, we're coming to the end of our winter season. Well, we're in the middle of our winter season, and the grass and the foliage is just not enough for the horses that we have. So we have to, and it's a common thing. That's why they have those big round bales you see out in the fields and stuff. So my wife says, go down to the feed store and get, 8 bales of this type of hay, and then 5 or 6 bales of this type of hay. Excuse me 1 sec. Sorry, guys. And I said, okay. So I go down there and, 8 of one and 6 of another. And the difference is some have sugars in it and some have starch in it. It's like eating, a good balanced salad for breakfast and then eating, cake and ice cream at night type deal. So I left them in the back of the truck. And my wife goes, and I had to do my show and stuff. I had stuff I had to do. I didn't have time to dump the truck, basically. So she gets off work. She's working from home that day. And it's like 6:30. It's barely light out. And she's like, oh, it's going to rain tonight. And I said, no, it's not. She's like, yeah. Thunderstorms around, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, we have to get the hay out because if the hay gets wet and sits too long, it'll mold and the horses won't eat it. And then, all this hay costs, $300 something. So, all right. She's like, I'll take it out. I'll unload the truck with all the hay and stuff. Big bales of hay. I'll do it. And I said, I'll help you. She's like, no, I'll do it. I need to get out and get moving around and stuff. All right, fine. So she comes back to the house. She goes out and does the horse stuff. She comes back to the house. This is 6:30, comes back around 8. It's a normal night. She comes back around 8 from the barn. And she's like, I think I, just kind of in passing, I think I twisted my back or something. I said, okay. Next morning, she can't get out of bed. She is locked up. And I said, you okay? She's like, yeah, I twisted. I was trying to get the hay out. I was trying to hurry up. I was, not lifting with my knees. It was up, standing up and jerking, twisting thing. She's like, I did something in my back. So that whole entire weekend, she was locked up. And, I've got like meloxicam and stuff that they give me for my back. And I said, well, welcome to my world, babe. Welcome to my world. She's like, shut up. Fuck you. But yeah, she tried to take it on her own, and you got to be careful. You got to bring the hay to the edge of the edge of the back of the truck and then, grab it and turn and then walk. They're heavy. Bales of hay are heavy. And she tried to do it. Now, my wife is not a small woman by any measure or standard or anything like that. She's a big, fit girl. And I say fit girl, not big. She's 6'9". And she can hold her own. I mean, she's got to push these horses and stuff around. She's got some guns on her. She's got some big guns. She's got some gams. Is that a correct term? Like her leg muscles and arm muscles? Gams? Am I talking from the 1930s or something? And unfortunately, that motion that she was doing to get the hay out twisted her back up. And I said, you got to be careful, babe. You got to be careful. So for Christmas, my wife got me a couple nice shirts. This is one of them. If you're watching this here on the YouTube video, it's an Orlando Magic, what do they call it? The coach's shirt. Yeah, I guess they don't wear suits anymore on the sidelines. They just all went to, track outfits or track suits. So she got me this official Orlando Magic gear. And then she got me a couple real nice Wrangler shirts from Walmart, because that's the only place. We don't have malls or anything around here. We are literally out in the middle of nowhere. Everyone wears the same thing. And this is where I have a problem. This is the thing that I have. And my wife just thinks I'm weird for doing it. And you tell me. So my wife gets me, they're real nice shirts. Real nice Wrangler shirts. They're a little stretchy. They got nice long tails. Or a button-up shirt, nice long sleeve. They do have a country pattern. Lack of a better word, stripes up and stripes left and right or up and down. Not a what is it? Like the grunge sweaters that everyone used to wear. Not that pattern, but something close to it. And so I'm going grocery shopping on Friday, and she's like, you should wear one of your new shirts. I said, yeah, I should wear one of my new shirts that you got me for Christmas from Walmart, because I'm going to Walmart, and I want to show the people in Walmart what fine quality gear, apparel that they have. She's like, what are you talking about? I said, babe, I'm going to be walking in Walmart where they sell the same shirt that I'm going to be wearing. I want people to think I've got some kind of culture behind me, that I don't just wear what's in the area. Because if you think about it, if that's the only clothing store in the area, that's what everyone in the area is wearing. So I try to buy a lot of my stuff online. My wife, on the other hand, she's, oh, that looks good, I'll grab that. Why don't you wear this? And I'm like I'm going to wear it back to the same store where I just got it from. It's just, in my mind, it doesn't make sense for me to do that. It's like going to see a rock band and wearing the rock band's t-shirt. If you go to see AC/DC, you put on an AC/DC shirt. Well, yeah, no shit, you're there to see AC/DC. Now, it's different if you're seeing them today and you've got an AC/DC shirt from like the High Voltage album back in 79 or something like that. Yeah, that's cool. But if they got a whatever, I just plain AC/DC with the cannon on it. Oh, I love AC/DC. Yeah, we all do. That's why we're here. It's the same thing about wearing this shirt back in Walmart. Oh, you like Walmart? Yeah, I love it so much. Here's the shirt my wife bought me from here. Look at me. Don't I look good? So you tell me, is that weird for me to do? Or the way I think about that? I don't want to wear the same shirt from where I got it from. Because technically, you're like going, well, if I can finish the sentence here. Technically, don't people do that all the time? No, think about it. Think about if you're on Beverly Hills and you go to Versace and you get a dress from Versace. And then 3 weeks later, you're like, your girlfriends and stuff go, well, let's go clothes shopping. Where do you want to go? Oh, let's go to the Versace store. You're not going to wear a Versace outfit to a Versace place. That's so faux pas. Faux pas. It's not good to do. Us common folk down here even know that. Duh. I just thought it was weird that she would, and she didn't understand why. Why wouldn't you do that? I don't know. I did a bad thing with the Orlando Magic. I'm kicking myself for it. Yeah, I did. And I don't want to get into it right now. I'll tell you about it. But again, this is all therapy for me. This is all therapy for me. And I figured out that I should never do this again for my home team of the Orlando Magic. So stick around. I'll be right back. If you're watching this on the YouTube video, thank you very much. We appreciate you. If you're not, shame on you. But just to let you know, this is week number 3, I think, of being on this medication, this new medication that I'm on. And if you're just new to the show, my doctor gave me generic Zoloft and basically said, this will help with your anxiety. This will help with your, she didn't say ADD. She mostly said anxiety and focus. It's not a depressant, but it does slow you down a little bit more. And because my mind was going 1,000 miles an hour and I just, just couldn't focus straight. So this has slowed me down a little bit. One thing I asked her, as you guys know, if you're any, fan of the show, these guys right here, I was doing a lot of them. And for the most part, I can say that my consumption has dropped 40%. It has. My wife's like, I can tell a difference in you all together. I can tell a difference. You're not waking up in the middle of the night with high anxieties at 3 o'clock in the morning and your heart's racing, 50 miles an hour or whatever. You're not having issues like that anymore. You're getting a little bit more sleep. Unfortunately, a side effect of the pill is not necessarily falling asleep. It's staying asleep, and staying asleep to a point where I told my wife this morning, because she was like going, how we always say, how did you sleep? To figure out, what your day is going to be like. And I was laying in bed this morning and I said to myself, it's a line out of a Metallica video, because that's where I get all my information from. As far as like classic lines, there's a line that says, I don't know if I'm asleep and dreaming or awake and remembering, because I sleep with a face mask on. Now, I just laying there and I'm like going, am I remembering something or am I actually asleep? I'm talking to myself as these pictures and images are in my head. I said, so I'm not like tired. It's just a weird situation. Like I'll be up for like three hours. And that's one of the side effects of the medication. It says, you can go to sleep, but it's hard staying asleep, or it's hard to, get to sleep and stay asleep, that type deal. So I explained that to my wife. She's like, oh, that's why you pop like 15 melatonins before you go to bed. Yeah, shut this ship down. We got to shut this plane down, get it pulled over and rested for the next day. So, but my wife, she is on the opposite of what I'm on. She is on Adderall, or a generic Adderall, whatever it is. Enough to where they have to, when I go pick it up, I have to show my ID. So part of her being on this is because Adderall, for the most part, is it an opioid? Is it a stimulant? I don't know, but they regulate it. It's like a class 5 or 9 or whatever it is. And every 3 months, she has to go and just get checked out, make sure she's not flying off the handles or anything like that. One of the things that they check is like her blood pressure. Her blood pressure's always been like 65 over like 109. It's always been that way. Mine, on the other hand, 158 over like 95. So I don't qualify for the Ritalin, to help me focus or stuff like that. So I get the other one. I get the one that slows everything down. Now, not that my wife is a bunch of scatterbrains, but I can tell she needs to focus her energy into a direction. She's got a bunch of great ideas. She just needs to, okay, we need to do this and then this and then this and then this. Instead of going, okay, if we do this, I got to figure out what's going to happen over here. That type of stuff. What makes people be on Adderall? It helps her very much so. So every 3 months, she goes to the doctor just to get a checkup and stuff. The same place that I go to see my doctor where I got the side boob action. And she was telling me that she's leaving. And she's going to go form her own practice with the main doctor. That's my wife's doctor. So the two of them are going off to do their own practice. I said, okay, cool. Now, my wife is really good friends or has a really good relationship, a rapport with the main doctor guy. And my doctor, I've only known her for like 2 years. She's new to our hospital or whatever care place. So she gets to talking with her doctor, and he says, at the end of February, we're opening up a new practice, and we're only taking, certain clients. And my wife's like, oh, really? Well, what are the qualifications? And the doctor actually said, well, there's a naughty list and a nice list. And so here we are. This doctor's literally going, I'm going to only take people that I want to take from where I'm at now. By law, I guess he can't, purge, his clients that he has or bring those with him. He's like, just look it up online. At the end of February, look it up online, my name, and you'll see it all. I guess legally you can do that. But she said there's a naughty list, and a nice list. I said, well, are you on the nice list? She's like, oh, yeah, that's why he was telling me all this stuff. My wife's like, yeah, everything's fine. I'll be over there. I said, it's going to be covered under, our insurance. When you do a self-practice and, the copay is $50. Now we are not covered under it. It's $500, for this new doctor, him to have his own practice and stuff. She's like, no, it's still covered. It's still under the umbrella. He's going out a little bit bigger umbrella, which we're still covered and stuff. So everything will be the same. Everything will be exactly the same. He's just doing it on his end, so to get out underneath the administration and the board that he's under. Same thing with my doctor. So they're going to team up and go off to the side. I hope I'm on the nice list, though. I asked. She never really gave me a straight answer. She's like, just look it up online, I'm like, okay. Am I okay? Can I go? Can I be on your team? I want to be on your team because you're nice. I don't want a new lady in here or man or whatever because then I got to go through all this shit again. I know. I broke my neighbor's ankles. Oh, yeah. Well, so he says. So I'll dive into that when we come back. So stick around. So one of the presents that my wife got me for Christmas was a green plaque, like a road sign or something like that, where you can put your house numbers on it. Because we are out in the country and there's no street lights or anything out here, I worry about when we start getting more deliveries and stuff, from Amazon and whatnot. We do have a house number up on the house, but you can't see the house number from the road. Well, then you're like, well, just stick some numbers on your mailbox. We're not ghetto. I'm not just going to spray paint numbers on the mailbox. Just put the reflective ones on there, or those ones that are, for whatever reason, they're angled like a trapezoid type thing. That's fancy. Where everything's like at a 45-degree angle or 35-degree angle, and you put the numbers on there. It's like a gold back or some kind of aluminum backing and a black number on the front. No, I'm not doing that. Okay, you do it in your neighborhood. But I've got this green placard that I can screw to the mailbox post. It looks like a flag. It's not a flag. It's like a placard. Like you see neighborhoods where they got a blue one and they all match and they all have the street numbers on them. And then some neighborhoods have all green ones. Well, I have a green one. And I'm putting the numbers on it, and they're reflective numbers because it matches the green, DOT type green sign placard. I'm tired of explaining. That's what it is. So screw it on the post, and I've got all these numbers over. Our number has 2 numbers that repeat, so I have to, that means 4 numbers. I had to make sure that they were all in there and did all that, and so everything's done. Now I got all these other numbers left over. I've got so many, like the 4s and the 3s. I've got all these different numbers, and I've got like 8 copies of them. So I hear my neighbor next door. They're always mowing the lawn. Now they've got a little bit larger property next door to us, a wider property, and his house sits on more land than that's developed. So like his house sits on 2 acres, and then it's all undeveloped land behind them. It's all trees. They made like pathways and stuff. Ours is completely developed all the way back. So I hear him mowing, and I'm out in the yard, and I've had a couple of these guys. A couple barbiturates, too, while I'm at it. And I go over there, and I'm like going, hey. And this is my neighbor. This is the neighbor that I don't want to say our relationship is torn, but there's just something not right between the two of us. So I'm thinking to myself, after a couple, shiny daddy cokes, I said, well, let me walk over there and ask him if he wants these numbers for his house. And because I got enough to do his house or whatever. And so I'm walking over there, and he's on his lawnmower, and he wears like ear covers, headphones that are like when you see him on like the deck of like an aircraft carrier. He wears those. Now he's a pilot, so I'm sure he's probably protecting his ears from whatever, and he wears those while he's mowing the lawn and stuff. He takes them off and shuts the lawnmower off. He comes over, and I say, hey man, I said I know your house is blank, 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 blank. I said, I've got enough here for you to do it 2 times on your property if you want. He's like, oh, all right, cool, yeah. He goes, how's the generator going over there? Because he can see it from his house, and we're sitting on the tree line there talking. I said, you want to come over and check it out? I said, they just put the gas line in. You want to look at it? And he's like, yeah. Yeah, give me a second. I gotta do something real quick. I didn't think anything of it. I said, okay. He goes, I'm going to pull the lawnmower in the garage, and I got to blow this out real quick because I'm done, and I'll be right over. I said, okay. So I walk back to the house, and I'm like going, well, I need a freshie. So I walk around to the garage, grab a freshie, and as I'm walking out of the garage, I get a text message from him saying, hey, hold on, I'll read it to you, because I'm excited. We're going to bond here for a little bit and hopefully bury some of the hatchets or something like that. I don't know. Let's see. Here it is right here. So he says, and this is at 5 o'clock on Tuesday, he says, I need a rain check. I just got off the tractor and sprained my ankle. I got to get some ice on it. I'll catch up with you later. Happy New Year. And I go, oh my. I'm laughing at myself. I'll be good. I just want to get some ice on it. I said, it's my fault. What are the chances? It's not your fault. His son wanted him to put in a code for his computer, so he's rushing over there to do it. So I'll blame him, is what he says. Does that sound, I mean, literally, hey, you want to come see the generator? Yeah, let me put the lawnmower away. Okay, I'm going to go grab a beer. Come back. Hey, I rolled my ankle. I got to go inside. Oh, really? Yeah, I rolled my ankle. Oh. So I go back in the house. I tell my wife. She's like, what's wrong? I go, I invited Nathan to come over and look at the generator and the gas line. I know this is guy stuff, right? And when I stepped away, within 3 minutes, he said he rolled his ankle. She's like, oh my God, is he all right? I go, I guess so. I don't know. I said, doesn't that seem a little weird? She's like, why would that seem weird? I go, well, he got off the lawnmower, and it's one of those sit down with a steering wheel riding lawnmower. It's not like a zero turn or anything like that. Just regular, household lawnmower. It's not a push behind, walk behind. I said, how bad could you roll your ankle getting off that lawnmower? She's like, I don't know. I got weak ankles. I said, babe, I know you do. But here he is, a grown man, getting off a lawnmower and messed his ankle up enough to where he can't come over and look at the generator, I guess, is where I'm going. You can't just come over, limp over. Oh, man, what's wrong? I kind of twist my ankle, but I'll be fine. Shake it off. Rub some dirt on it. I'll be fine. No, he's like, oh, I got to get in the house and put some ice on it. They're weird people, man. They are weird fucking people. I'm just telling you that. I told you. You've listened to the past couple episodes. They're weird fucking people. Now, I don't know if he's flying, because he's a pilot, if he's flying that evening or the next morning, and do they not allow him to fly if he's got a rolled ankle? Maybe. I'm just guessing. Or is it... Well, one of the things I also thought about was if it wasn't for me going over there, actually, I'll blame my wife. If it wasn't for my wife buying me that thing to put on the mailbox and for me to put the letters out there and then think, okay, I'm going to be kind enough to go over to my neighbor's house and give him the leftover numbers because his numbers are left over. He's got enough left over, and stopped him on his lawnmower while he was sitting there mowing the lawns and stuff and said, hey, look, here's some numbers for your house. Would you like to come over and see my generator? He would have never rolled his ankle. It's that, Final Destination type thing. If I never would have gone over there or stuck my nose over there and try to be a nice neighbor and help him out with something, he would have never rolled his ankle and lost his job. No, he didn't lose his job. I mean, it was just one of those like, oh man, it's just so weird how the universe kind of makes things happen. Like it's against us somehow, or maybe it's for the better somehow. I don't know. One thing that I did that I thought was being good is I betted on the Magic. Well, sort of. If you've been listening to the show for a while, you know that my wife bought me the NBA package this year because I was just missing something in, hometown feel, someone to cheer for, someone to go, okay, yeah, everything's good. Let's have a good time. Let's watch the game. My wife and I used to watch the game all the time. We used to go to the games when we lived in Orlando, when we could afford it. And so she said she'll buy me the NBA package. Now, part of the NBA package is that you get FanDuel, or you can sign up for FanDuel. We live in North Carolina, so FanDuel is a betting app where it's legal. So I betted a couple games and won some and lost some. I think total $25. I think I won maybe $38, that type deal. So I'm sitting here watching, and I've been watching the games progressively go on and go on and go on. And they're getting better, and then sometimes they get worse. And, it's the Magic, man. If you're a fan of the Orlando Magic, they just kind of, it's hit and miss. So I'm sitting here going, they're playing the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn, sorry, I know it's New Jersey. They were the New Jersey Nets, but they played in Brooklyn, so now the new Brooklyn and all that stuff, I don't know, sports talk, right? The Brooklyn Nets are a garbage team right now. So, but I was like, the Magic are that type of team where when they go up against a garbage team, they lose. And so I said, you know what? I hate to do this, guys. Home team, I hate to do this. I think they were playing in Brooklyn. I said, Magic, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to bet against you. So I placed a $10 bet that the Brooklyn Nets would beat the Orlando Magic with a payout of, I think it was like $55 on a $10 bet. Then I'm looking at like all the other extra bets on top of it. I put $25 in the account, so there's 10 of it gone away. $15 if the Nets lead or actually win by more than 11 points. That paid out, I think, $248 or something stupid like that. I said, holy Jesus. $25 for almost $300 in return? I hate to do this, guys. I hate to do it. Bet. Done. Your bets are in. Bets are all locked in. I'm like, okay. All right. First quarter. Brooklyn Nets are up by 15. I'm like, okay. Halftime. Nets are up by 13. Okay. Third quarter. Nets are up by 21. Okay. I'm getting excited. And 8 minutes into the fourth quarter, the fucking Orlando Magic come back from a deficit of 21 points and wins by, I think, like 5 or something like that. I said, God damn it. Damn it. I almost won $300. They would have paid for half of Christmas, or some of Christmas, or at least some of my dad's stuff. But any other time, the Magic would never compete and get back that deficit. They would have just thrown in the towel and kept going. And we have like four of our starting lineup sitting on the bench. So I'm like going, you know what? Let's bet against Magic. So unfortunately, I'm sorry, Orlando Magic and Magic fans. I bet against you guys. I'll never do it again. That's the way the universe kind of showed me. Don't bet against your favorite team. So it was just weird. I was like, God damn it. I almost got it. Anyways. Well, guys, thanks for listening to me work this stuff out. I'll talk to you later. See you. Bye. Bye.